It was still dark when the old man opened his eyes. He wasn't sure why he had woken up so early. Maybe it was the silence. Maybe the strange heaviness in the air. His bones ached, his throat felt dry, and the entire room smelled of damp wood, as if the walls themselves were rotting. Slowly he turned his head towards the small window. A pale, almost bluish light slipped through the cracks of the wooden shutters. It wasn't the light of dawn, nor was it moonlight. It was something in between. Something unnaturally. He sat up on the bed and rubbed his eyes. That's when he noticed it. On the far wall of his room, a shadow was moving. At first, he thought it was his imagination. Perhaps a tree outside swaying in the wind. But there was no wind. The entire night outside was dead still. And this shadow, it was too long, stretching unnaturally across the wall, twisting, shifting as if it had a life of its own. The old man's heartbeat quickened. He wanted to call out, but he lived alone. His house had been empty for years. The shadow trembled once, then froze. And then it disappeared, just like that, as if it was never there. The old man let out a shaky breath. "Just a dream," he whispered, though his throat felt parched. He turned to look at the clock hanging crookedly on the wall. It was 4 a.m., but as he watched, his eyes widened in horror. The second hand of the clock was moving backwards. Tick, 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 tick. Each movement reversed time, minute by minute, until the clock struck 3 a.m. again. The old man's chest tightened. His head spun, and suddenly the room went cold, so cold he could see his own breath in the air. He reached for the candle beside his bed and lit it with trembling fingers. The small flame flickered weakly, but it brought him little comfort, for the flame itself seemed to bend unnaturally, as if something invisible was breathing on it. He whispered a prayer under his breath, and that's when he heard a knock at the door. The knock was slow, deliberate. Thud, thud, thud. The old man froze. Nobody should be here. Not at this hour. Not in this village. Because there were no more people left. For years the village had been dying. Families had moved away, one by one. The last family had left months ago. Now only he remained, the stubborn old man, who refused to abandon the house where he was born. His shaking hand reached for the door. The knocking had stopped, but now there was whispering. Faint, scratchy voices, speaking in a language he couldn't understand. The sound seeped through the cracks of the door like smoke, filling the room. He pressed his ear against the wood. "Open," a voice hissed. He staggered back. "No," he muttered. "Leave me alone." The candle went out.